back here?
Yeah, yeah. Alright.
Oh, that's better. No, I look like a cracker.
Alright, so we were just talking recently, a few moments ago, about your job as a dam turbine installer in, what, the 90s? Has that been 1990s?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be it.
And you worked on a dam in India at that
That's
time.
true.
Now, can you tell us about what happened at that dam?
Well,
and what they referred to it when they were done?
Basically, we were there to do a job to help with the dam and the generators, and it was all going to be open at a specific time. The government came in because below the dam there was a whole population of families and kids. So what happened is that the people that were in charge of getting the message out, which I think at that time was the Army. They were to bring in helicopters and drop information as to when it was going to open and the time, and that they would have to be out of there. And the place did not move. All the people stayed there. So what happened was that after all the other stuff, they thought it was okay to at the specific time that was set on the paper that they could open the dam and flood it. They didn't think about the people that lived there.
How many people were there?
I can only estimate. I can't really think of that many.
What would you theorize? 100?
No. There was thousands.
20,000?
Easy.
So you say 20,000 people. So the Indian government came onto the dam project where you were working and said, we gave them the message, they're not listening, turn the water on anyway.
Yeah. Therefore, my job at that dam was short because my response to this was, take me out of here. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to know. I can't believe people could do that.
What did the official say to you as his reasoning for it?
His reasoning?
Yeah.
They were told.
No, but when you said,
why I wanted to leave?
No, but why all those people killed? Like population control?
Oh, population control, they called it. That's what flipped me out and told me it's time to go home.
So this government official said to you, as if you would have no feelings for these people whatsoever, of course, because they're simply Indian peasants who he has none for.
Yeah.
And assumes everybody else feels exactly the same way he does. And basically murders 30,000 of his own, 20,000 of his own people. A cavalier disregard for their lives. They didn't believe the government would do this to them. I would theorize.
That's true.
They got a note from a helicopter.
They thought that
there was an army presence in the area?
Yeah, they thought they had the power to remove them if they had to. But
so the army
they decided to flood them instead.
But the army was there with insufficient force to move the people out.
That's right.
But rather than move the people out, the army and the other government administrators decided, fuck it, leave them there, get rid of them.
Pretty well.
That's pretty much the same kind of thing that the Bush and Cheney families would have regarding 9/11, I would think, you know. tell the American people anything, tell them it's unpatriotic not to believe us, and fuck it, we're off to the races. Do whatever the fuck we want.
Pretty well.
So there's not too much respect for the people on the part of petty kings that, I've been able to find much recently. Have you? Like anywhere?
No.
Great Britain has, finally realized that it owes a few apologies. I can't imagine what the Americans are going to finally do when it comes around for their turn to begin.
But it's their turn?
Yeah.
They're hoping their turn won't come.
If you were an American, what would you bet on? Would you bet on that happening? Every nation in the world's realizing it. China, Great Britain's pontificating. Okay, we tortured you guys and fucked you over. We were.
I don't even think they listen to those people.
And they don't. The people who've been fucked over don't hear a word they say, but I do. I listen to what they're saying, and what they're doing is they're beginning the king's bark. They're apologizing for the horseshit they've prevaricated on people in the past. And this has to happen fully and completely before any foreign move is going to ever get fucking made anywhere for anybody.
Well, that's good because you needed this to get the job done.
Fuck you. Christ. I don't need any more aggravation, please. Fuck.
And that's not one hand washes the other.
I love it. The U.S. standing with morons in the I think it's the Pakistani or the Indian government just spent $360 million on missiles that will almost defeat missiles sent from Pakistan that they sold them. The awesome things, like they'll get them 8 miles outside of New Delhi. 8 miles outside of the center of New Delhi is populated about as thick as a carpet's knitted, I would theorize. You understand?
I wouldn't.
For what fucking reason?
I wouldn't want to have to run for milk.
It's like an anti-missile missile. It's not even one you can fuck over your neighbors with, right?
Yeah.
It's something to shoot in case they shoot one at you, right?
It's called a better kind.
Better mousetrap. Anyway.
They would just as well with safety pins.
Like any motherfucker who's got to point a gun at me to get his point across isn't worth listening to. Can we say this?
No.
No. Guy's got no courage, no wit, doesn't deserve what he's asking for, and needs a kick in the teeth and balls. Can we say this?
Okay.
Well, it's true. Think about it. Let's think what the U.S. has done. Think what governments do to their own people. They cavalierly disregard their interests in favor of a few perverted potentates dressed up in fancy suits and like get hand jobs from the what do they call them in Washington? Those Monica Lewinsky was one of them. Kind of like in Canada, you have golfers in the House of Commons. Anyway, that's some name for it. I can't remember. But like. And people think that everybody else is stupider than them. Like this Obama. Fuck.
And he could say it with a smile.
I'm gonna fuck you to death, you
Yeah.
simple-minded American cocksucker. Right? But you understand, like, he's a Republican poster boy.
Oh yeah, I know.
Anyway, so just letting the government take care of me is not such a hot idea. You ever notice?
No, I wouldn't think so.
Now letting the government decide what's right and wrong for me may not be such a hot idea either. Look what the fuck would those motherfuckers do. Who's going to take direction from them?
Yeah, really. They started in kindergarten where you had to line up.
Right, you understand? It's like,
It's true. They wanted a little army.
they all have to do what I say.
That's it.
It's my turn to be bullied.
Yeah.
Right? And this is the meaning of, like, the life gets expressed and lived through this prison. You're telling me. People actually find some kind of way to have a meaningful life in this fucking shit.
No. I'd give up right there.
Think of it, like, truth means nothing in justice. What matters in justice is whose dick's getting sucked today.
That's about the long and short of it.
And there you have Pervert Master and your King of Kings discussing current events. Thursday, June 6th, 2013.